We are here actually in Albertville, Alabama, kind of a unique setting for this interview with the 4A Player of the Year, John Broom from Jacksonville High School. John's girlfriend has just advanced to the state tournament in tennis, so he's up here supporting her and all these other athletes up here. John, first of all, I want to say congratulations on not only winning the 4A Player of the Year, but back-to-back state champions, and we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, let's take us back to the early years with Mr. John Broom. Where did you grow up, and what was life like for you growing up?
Well, I grew up in Anniston, Alabama, kind of the Sacs area, but I've always went to just Jacksonville High School my whole life, through kindergarten through 12th grade right now, man. And I just grew up there, and I love the city of Jacksonville so much. And it's kind of great because our state championship team, we all grew up together playing part. And I remember in junior high, we'd always talk about winning state championship and all these accolades, and it's all of it coming true. It was just amazing for us, honestly.
As you were coming up, and like you said, you guys came up playing together, was there a point in those early years you were like, I think this really is a special group, and just kind of know that this is probably going to happen one day?
Yeah, I remember we were playing Hard League. We were in Gadsden, and we went really far. We almost went to the state championship game, and we were playing up a division, so that's how I knew we had a good chance. And then 7th grade, we weren't as good as we usually should be. But 8th grade, we all shot up. Like me, twins, Ethan, like the core of Jackson, we all shot up to our 6'2", 6'3" in 8th grade, and we just knew right then it was going to be a good shot for us. Right, it was
a different world. You've been in a unique situation there in Jacksonville, playing right there with these guys you grew up, winning a state championship. I got a ton of questions I'm about to ask you about that, but at what point did you start playing on the varsity level over there at Jacksonville?
I started playing on the varsity level. I started playing 9th grade, but we only played a little bit because our football team, we went to state that year. So we played the first 8 games. We actually went 8-0. Our JV team went on the varsity level. We had 8-0, so we got them basically good record before they even started. And that was my first year playing. Then 10th grade year, the core right now.
Wait a minute. So when Ron Wiggins and them went to state and y'all were JV playing up on varsity, y'all went 8-0.
Yes, sir.
What was going through your head then? This is easy, or something had to be going through your head at that time?
I mean, it definitely wasn't easy. All the games were close, but I think that just made us better, and it definitely made us stronger because we were all like 14, 15-year-olds just playing against a bunch of older guys. I mean, we were just mainly just playing our ball, honestly.
There ain't no doubt about it. That had to be a huge part of your career and growth, kind of thrown in the fire, so to speak, immediately. All right, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. You and Cade Phillips played AAU. And at what point when Cade transferred over there, did you know that Cade was going to come play with you guys? And how did that affect you guys' mindset as a team?
Okay. First of all, me and Cade, we didn't get to play AAU together.
Y'all didn't?
We didn't.
Okay.
That's what everybody thought. We were just really, really good friends.
Okay, I got you.
We played a lot of pickup ball together.
Gotcha.
And we met each other probably around 8th and 9th grade, and he was telling me a situation at Westbrook Christian. I was like, hey man, look, I was just talking, and we thought it'd be a good idea. He ended up coming, and that was just amazing for us because that was a big part of what we were missing with our team. It was just a big guy.
Right.
And with Cade, you got probably the best player in the state. He's a hybrid going to Tennessee. He's fast, can shoot it, can dunk it. So it just really helped us out a lot. And it didn't just make him better, it made all of us better in all. So that was just a great situation with him coming with us.
Now, and his dad was a star at Alabama and played at Anniston, so he was familiar with that area. I think it was a good fit for everybody involved. Let's take us back to that year when you guys won that state. We watched you guys coming up. We watched you guys' development. We watched you getting better. And when that tournament kicked in over there, it was a different level we seen from you guys. Take us back towards the end of that season when you guys, right before y'all got to Jacksonville.
Right before we got to Jack State?
Yeah, right before you got to Jack State, because it seemed like you guys were already winning games, but it seems like you went to another level at that point.
Yeah, I definitely say this. I don't know if you remember or not, but Cade got hurt.
I remember that. He was in a boot. Y'all beat Plainview.
We beat a really, it wasn't him. So pretty much we had a lot of players on the bench that had to play, and the star players had to play pretty much. So I mean, everybody's roles changed. I wouldn't say mine necessarily changed as much, but our roles really changed. So it made a lot more people just step up, and we all got better as a basketball team.
That's right.
Just not having a 6'9" guy in there, so we all started. It was just a lot better. And then when he came back, I think he came back that Etowah game. He didn't play as much, but he played a little bit. But just with his presence in that game, we won by 30, 45 points.
Against a good Etowah team.
A good Etowah team. I mean, I could have went to the regional that year. They almost beat Hanley, if I'm not mistaken. And that really just what made us a lot better, just with him not being there. But him coming back made us even more better. It was crazy.
It was a unique time because you guys were gelling perfectly at the right time. And I remember the Westminster game that year. Obviously, this last year's was another huge one, but a lot of people in the state said the winner of this game is probably going to win the state. Take us back to the thoughts and what was going through you guys' mind as y'all played Westminster, not last year, but the year before.
The year before, it was a battle. It was a battle, very defensive game. Last year's team, we weren't a low-scoring team. Like, we averaged probably 80 points a game. That game, we only scored 50, and they had 41. So that just really showed that we were a really good basketball team. We played both sides of the floor, honestly. But they were a great team. Had Chase McCarty. He had a good game. They had Big 24. He had a good game. And those guys are pretty good, man.
They had some guards that could go last year.
They had some guys, really. It was very well matched up overall. So it was just a good test.
But you guys go on down to Birmingham. I believe you were the regional MVP last year.
Yes, sir.
And then you guys go on down to Birmingham, and you win that first state title in Jacksonville history.
Right.
What was that like?
That was amazing. It was just seeing our city that we grew up in, all of them in the stands, and they all just came back, and it was just amazing just seeing that, man. Like, you want stays here, like even this year, it's just great seeing your hometown be with you while you do that moment.
You did it in such dominant fashion too. At what point in that game did you think, man, this is happening? This is here. Like we've been thinking about this. I know nobody says it's over to the horn sounds, but when y'all were up 30 or whatever in the fourth, you had to be thinking, hey man, this thing's over with. I mean, when did it start sinking in on you?
It started sinking in, I'd probably say 2 minutes in the fourth. I mean, we knew we were up 30, but it was still a state championship game, so we're like, we gotta keep going.
That's right.
No home back.
You did.
We gotta keep going. We ain't gonna screw this one up. We gotta keep going.
It kept swelling.
And that was just our mindset that game, and I think it really turned out good. Very historic run we had that year.
This is unbelievable. Now, off season comes. These two things I'm about to tell you, the people who don't know your story is gonna be like, what? Ain't no way. Cade goes to a prep school out of state. Coach Morrow's no longer with the team. So you lose your coach and you lose your big man who you said's a Tennessee commit, 4-star. What was those individual meetings with you and the guys like? No coaches around, no teachers around. What was the message between you guys?
We were really just like, I mean, we looked at each other and we said, we pretty much feel like, guys, we got the team that can do it this year. We still got the same core, same guys. I mean, we're missing a couple players, but I think we can still do it. We're just going to change our way of play. We didn't score a lot more points than we did this year, but we were just more solid. I say we're more veteran. I feel like that. Because last year we played more juniors than seniors, and this year was straight seniors, and Devin Barksdale a sophomore. So like, we had a lot of seniors that just had experience playing varsity basketball, and that really just helped us out, I'd say.
It was unbelievable. And when your new coach was named, what was his first message to you guys?
Pretty much our goal is not going to change here at Jacksonville. Pretty much what he said.
He didn't make a lick of excuses. I made a post about that, if you remember. He didn't make an excuse, and he didn't allow you guys to make an excuse, which you was not anyways.
Exactly.
Talk about that a little bit, that mindset.
That mindset. He basically just us going hard every day at practice, which is really hard to do, honestly, every day. Especially you playing from, I forget the first month of basketball, through March. That's a lot of basketball. Every day practices after school, that's just a lot on our legs, on our bodies. And really what helped us, I'd say, through all that was just like we did it last year, so we kind of remember it. And it wasn't like nothing was new to us because we already experienced it. So that's what I think helped us a lot.
Did it feel like complacency, or I'm not going to say entitlement, but there had to be a moment where you was thinking, man, we're here. And then all of a sudden, those two big pieces of the puzzle leave, and you're like, refocused. That had to refocus you guys.
Yeah, everybody was just locked in. I'd say after our first 3 games, or 4 games, we were 1-3.
Golly.
We lost to 3A state champions, Plainview. We lost to a really good Georgia team. they were the 1A state champs over there, and then we lost to
the game we were at up in Huntsville.
We lost to Austin too.
Yeah,
as well.
Austin.
We lost to Austin. I mean, it was just good teams we lost to, and I see our confidence starting to go down a little bit. But we had a couple team meetings and we got together. And I'd say after that was really our turning point earlier in the season.
And you guys ended up losing a very close game in the county championship to Oxford. But I personally got to watch that revenge game, which was total domination by you guys, which just so happened to be, just like I said last year, right before we started to head to regionals.
Right.
Once you got Oxford at home and did what you did right there, you had to think, okay, it's
time.
The tournament's coming.
It's time.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
I'd say we lost 2 games within that week. I want to say we lost to Oxford, and we got blown out by Ramsey.
I was at that game. Yep.
We lost to them. And really, after those 2 games, we really just woke up as a team. We were like, guys, we can't lose no more. Like, we were talking about us being able to peak, and we hadn't peaked yet. And it was about playoff time. It was about playoff time. And I'd say after that, after the Ramsey game, we peaked. But when we played Oxford at their place, everybody was locked in. I mean, we remember that loss in front of the whole county. It's just,
our
team, our team don't like losing, really.
I'm going to give you a little bit of information you may or may not have known once we get past the drag strip here. So the day that you guys played Ramsey, I was with Carrington all day. We did the day in the life with him. And I got to see the film breakdown. And I don't know if you've seen Carrington's day in the life video we did with him. But I got to see the film breakdown with Denton. And he circled you and he said, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you 2 things you can take away from us film study right here. He said, the first thing is they're going to be the 4A state champions. He said, I'm telling you right now, you can write it down, they're going to be the 4A state champions. So you're playing a very good team and you're going to their house to do it. He said, he circled you and he said, this guy right here is a Division I player if they've ever been one, because he's a 3-level scorer. He's got a mid-range, he can kill you inside, and he can hit the 3 up there. He said, this guy right here is a D1 player. He said, I'm telling you right now, this guy's the real deal. He's as good as that we have in the state of Alabama. And he made the guys raise their hand who they thought, how many of them thought he was a top 5 player in the state, and the whole team raised their hand. So you get credit from Ramsey, Denton Johnson, those kind of guys. How about your personal game? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, honestly. It really just shows just hard work, honestly, because just without hard work, I wouldn't be where I am right now, which I like. I like just being recognized and stuff like that. It's just amazing to be recognized, especially by a great coach.
Oh, yeah.
And a great team. It feels amazing.
That was really cool because I got to see him break down the whole game film and everything, which is part of it. And we showed some of it, but we was running out of time. We had to keep the videos 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But then I'll ask you a few more questions. We'll shut it down because Caroline has started playing now.
Okay.
All right, so state tournament or regional start, you guys play very good. You play a very tough Etowah team again. You pull that one out. You're headed to the Final Four. Now, your thoughts is, a lot of people around the state thought y'all might be the underdog this year. Media outlets even said it. People was picking against y'all. That had to fire you back up.
It definitely fired us up. I remember we had a meeting one of those days, and they were just showing us the rankings. We don't really care about rankings, but they were like, guys, they don't think y'all can win. And they kept telling us that. I'm talking about probably the whole week. It just fired us up.
Oh yeah.
And I remember we went to the Final Four, and I want to say Westminster won by like 40 or something. Mm-hmm. And we get in there. We looked at each other, all right, we got to lock in. And we ended up winning by 42. So, I mean, everybody knew that was just going to be the game.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to be people, like butts and seats. There's going to be a lot of people there.
Oh, it was packed.
Packed out house in there, man. That was just...
As that game went on, you started, in my opinion, separating yourself a little bit in that game. And I was talking to your dad, was sitting behind me, and I turned around and told him the same thing. I was like, he's starting to show this is my game. This is my moment. And you started guarding Chase, and y'all went man on man, and Chase didn't have a good game, and you had a really good game. How did that make you feel when that was all transpiring?
It made me feel good, honestly. But I'd say with Chase, it was just a good matchup. Probably, if not the best matchup in the Super 7 that whole week, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, guarding him, we both, at first, it was like we were canceling each other out. Because it's like D1 on D1. Both same size, pretty much just both strong. I mean, all our buckets was tough buckets.
That's right.
So I say just guarding him, it was hard. I'm not going to say it was easy. It definitely wasn't easy. It was definitely hard. who's guarding him was amazing. And I had a really good game that game. And
That's right.
It just felt amazing, man.
And then look, we got to talk about the dunk at the end to seal it. Man, I don't think there's a better way. If you script it in a movie, you could make that. It's like Rudy when he got the sack. Big moment right there at the end. Talk about that. When the game's over, you got the ball in your hand, it's time to put a stamp on this one. How did that feel?
It felt amazing. It's like, it felt amazing. I remember just me, when Devin passed me the ball and I was running and the time was turning around, just all the memories.
Oh, yeah.
From varsity and all that. And just like last year and this year just running through my head and just to seal it off for it to just, in my senior career.
That's right.
In my career at Jackson, I was just amazing.
What do you think your heart rate was at that moment? It had to be through the roof.
It was definitely through the roof. I was saying, it was through the roof.
All right, I'm going to ask you this. Two more questions when we get out of here so you can go watch Carolina play. First question, when you went through the recruiting process, what made South Alabama jump out to you?
When I first visited there, South Alabama just felt like home when I got there. And I like a home environment. Jack State was on me too, but just going away to something like that and just seeing another home environment and having Mobile, like a big city, I like to say, it just felt great up here. And the coaches, they're just amazing to me.
Absolutely.
They recruited me texting me every day, even the head coach, just every day. I remember I went on my unofficial visit, and Coach Richie Riley, he was with me probably the whole visit. And you don't see that a lot of unofficial visits at all. So I just knew that was special, and I knew I was one of their top guys. So I was like, I told my parents at that visit, this might be the place I want to go to.
Yeah, your dad said me, first thing he said to me in Birmingham was, burn the boats, boy. That's the first thing he said to me. I started dying laughing. Next thing is, this is something I've done to all the players of the year. I'm just going to turn the camera over to you. What do you like to say to players, fans, administration, coaches, teammates? Just everybody's been a part of this ride with you.
I just like to say y'all thank you, honestly, just for everything y'all done for me, all the support y'all given me. And for the players out there just watching this, I say just keep working, man. And as long as you keep working, your plans will come true.
John, I appreciate you. We're going to shut this down so we can go watch this tournament. And thank you as always, and good luck in the future.
Thank